Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was and will be again. And anyway, I hope that you're being kind to yourself, being positive, trusting in the process, and being kind. And also, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you could give this video a thumbs up. Plus, don't forget you can leave a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And you can also check out my playlist, because you'll never know what the heck Starlight was talking about from, when she started all the way to now. So there's a lot of videos out there, like 500 and something. How did I do that? I don't even know. So anyway, is not only you can check out my playlist, is you can also don't forget to ring the notification bell. That way you do not miss any videos. Plus, you could check me out on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So anyway, and today I'm like, okay, what is it that I can talk about or teach, or help anybody out there? Yeah, you. I'm looking at you. So I only do this because I care about you. If I didn't care about you, I wouldn't be putting my neck out here on the line, but I make these videos because I care, and I do want to see people's lives change, and I want to see you get the best that you can get in life and believe in yourself. So anyway, this is about I want it, and I want it now. So this is what this video is about, and that can cover all kinds of topics out there, and this is the way, I'm not like this, but I could be like this, is I want it, and I want it now. And where did that come from? That came from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, with a little girl that was spoiled rotten, and and she wanted something, and she didn't want to wait, and so she ended up stealing and ate, I can't remember, she ate some kind of candy that she didn't even know what it was going to do. And well, that was a little surprise for her. So ever since I watched that a long time ago, that's why I can't remember what happened, because it was funny, is there are children out there like that, because the parents are, teaching them that it's okay to get what they want. They don't want to deal with their children's attitudes, so they, or they could have came from a past where they didn't have very much, so they're like, hey, I'm going to work my ass off, I'm going to buy everything you want, I'm going to give you everything you want when you want something, because when I was little, I didn't get what I wanted. So it's like a lesson, for the parent, and of course the parent had a lesson when they let their child, get everything they wanted, or it's a lesson when the children don't get enough. Either way, the children need balance just like adults. But not only children act like that, many adults, and it's really sad, the way the world is now, where everything is so quick and instant, so before, they had the fast food places, which they still have that today, but that's not fast enough. I used to work at Burger King a long time ago, and they did have a, of course they drive through. That's why people like it, is, besides the greasy food in there, and I know the smell, when I used to be a Whopper queen. Imagine that. Starlight was a Whopper queen once upon a time. The manager would come in, and always, he would sneak, and he would go through the drive-through. He wouldn't tell us, and he would order a Whopper and see if Starlight, is making those Whoppers right. And so, and every time when he drove through, those Whoppers were just perfect. So that's why I'm the Whopper queen, but now I'm a Starlight queen. So anyway, I went from Whoppers to, Starlight, and now I don't even eat meat. But I mention that is because on those drive-throughs, I don't know if they do this now, is that there's a timer, at least there was when I worked at Burger King, is that they want to, you know, get the people in, have them order their food, get the money, of course, right? And then hurry up and give them the food without any mistakes or any of that, because it was all being timed. Now you might not ever known that it was being timed. So they wanted to hurry up and get you in there, but of course some people like Starlight, when, if I was going through a drive-through, I'd be like, I gotta look at your menu first, I'm not in any rush to order. So, so they want to, they're competing with other Burger King places to see who gets the quickest time, for a drive-through. So, and now, I remember when I used to work at Burger King a long time ago, too many years, of working there, is, besides the smell. I mean, when I got home, Starlight smelled like a garbage can. It was in my hair. I mean, it was disgusting. It really was gross. So my clothes were stinky, everything stunk, because that grease is all in the air and I'm breathing that in all the time. I doubt that is good for your health to breathe all that grease in the air all the time. But, when I was working there, at breakfast time, at a certain time, it was busy. And of course, at lunchtime. So Starlight at once upon a time used to work in the morning shift and in the afternoon. And I had to get out because I had to get my kids picked up, had to go walk and go, pick them up. So those lines were really busy. People would get upset because, it's kind of in a way their fault, because they're thinking, hey, I got like a half-hour lunch break and they might have been running late, and they believed that, hey, I could get to Burger King and order whatever and hurry up and get out and get back to work, and where they would get upset because they're hungry, and then they look at the time and they're getting late. So then, so there goes that Whopper or whatever they were ordering, So now things are even quicker now. Even I went to a Dunkin' Donuts a while back, and I was like, wow, I was only in there to just sit and have coffee, to stay warm in the winter time. So while I was in there, I was amazed at how many people were ordering on their phones, before they already had their order already, and all they had to do is go and drive to Dunkin' Donuts and then go in, and their food was already there. The sandwiches were already there in bags, and I'm like, I didn't even know. I mean, Starlight wasn't in a Dunkin' Donuts, and that Dunkin' Donuts, they actually redid the whole thing inside. They had it closed for a while, and I didn't know that was one of the changes, is that they redid. I really liked it the way it was before. There was more sitting space, so, so it is something now, you can order, if you need that sandwich at 12 o'clock, you could probably order at, 10 o'clock in the morning and already have it it's already going to be ready for you. They're already going to get it all set for you. And now they even have, well, they've had this a long time, but now they're having more, is now they have a whole bunch of different places. I've been noticing they don't have this where I came from, but some of the fast food places, they had a whole bunch of parking spots on the side, and where you can pull up in each little spot and do the ordering there, and order your food on the menu thing. And I'm not sure if they would come out to your car or not, so everything is quick, rush, so we really do need to slow down. And even on the internet with TikTok, where people can't even last, Starlight hasn't watched a movie in a long time. I would love to watch a movie, but I feel like I'm so busy right now. Where would I get the time to watch a movie? But I like watching something educational. But if that movie is going to help me out, which they do, some of them like The Matrix, which is not a movie, it's a documentary, is, there are movies that will help you and warn you about things, for the future. So, not saying movies are bad, it's just and everything in moderation. And now, okay, what else? We're talking about food. We talked about like the internet and things like that, and a drive-in. I gotta throw this in here. I get so tired of seeing it. Hang on, I'm like, I didn't know what. I never know what to wear. I have to say this because it does frustrate me, and maybe this frustrates you too. Is I love everyone, and I want safety on the roads, and I don't really, I say I don't text. The only thing I do is use my GPS on my phone. Sometimes I get in a spot where something didn't happen right on my phone, and I'm in the middle of somewhere, and I'm like, great. I'm like, how, like something happened. And so we need to be safe on the roads, but really, besides people texting and stuff while driving, I don't know how do you do that anyway. I tried it a long time ago, and I'm like, no way. I don't. I just my mind is blown. I've even seen people type now. I mean, like I seen a lady. All she did with her phone is, and I'm like, huh. How did you do that? Like how you just like, and I'm like, uh. So that is probably a person that probably does do texting while driving on the road. But what really irritates me is I got to throw this in there is when they say, watch out for motorcycles. And you see those signs everywhere, don't you? Watch out for motorcycles. And yesterday I just seen this and I was like, yeah, motorcycle riders out there, I love all of you, but watch out for us. We're much bigger than you. And I say that in love because I see this, and I know you see it, is I just seen a guy the other day zigzagging through the traffic, and I'm like, he's not being really wise because he's not actually giving anybody um, he's in and out really, and he's actually, there's two cars here in their lanes. you know I would like to be a cop and pull his ass over, because if there's two cars and they're at a red light, where they're at a light, and this motorcycle goes in between both of the cars and gets up in the front somehow, that 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 has to be illegal. I mean, like, because that is, and that's about being in a rush. That's why I'm throwing this in there, is people that are riding on motorcycles, and a lot of times you don't see that they have like any protection with there's no protection really. I seen not too long ago, and I told my son it was a motorcycle accident. I missed it, and maybe that's why I was late, getting to where I was going, because there was an accident ahead that I didn't know about. So there's things that always, things do happen, and there's sometimes a good reason why. Maybe you got stuck somewhere, maybe there's a roadblock, maybe this, maybe that. Don't worry about it. Maybe it's saving your ass down the road because somebody's, not doing something, or maybe there's some kind of freak thing that, because those things do happen on the highway, is there was a motorcycle accident ahead of me that I didn't know about. And when I finally, because the traffic was slow, and we finally was able to get up, and I don't know my way around. So when we finally, I say we because everybody else that was driving along with me, I was like, holy shit. I mean, what motorcycle? Can I say that? What motorcycle? It's one of those sports, not a Harley, but wow. I mean, that baby was totaled. I'm like, I don't know where the person was. I was praying that he was okay, but man, after seeing the bike, we do need to slow down. And so I'm talking about safety. I talked about the, like TikTok, like what, like how many TikTok videos can you watch in a day, or even Instagram, or, it's an addiction. You get, there's addictions out there and you can easily get caught up in it. The other thing about I want it and I want it now is that people are, and Starlight has been guilty at this. So, but I have had to learn, the hard way. I am, I had to learn about patience. I had to learn about working on myself. And this is a message out there for all of you that you said you want to give up on love. Come on. You can't give up on love. That's the greatest thing out there in this whole existence is love. To, like to be connected with someone. Now, when I say that, that means that we definitely, when I say definitely need to be patient, is that doesn't happen overnight, and I have had my heart, mind, and eyes on someone for a long time, and, is there was a miscommunication, definitely a miscommunication. And it's almost like when you're learning about the Matrix, where you believed one thing, and then as you're kind of going through this cloud, the cloud is kind of clearing up, and now you can actually kind of see why things were going the way they were, and now you're like, I can see now. So, what I thought back then about this person, sometimes people help you out where you might be confused, you might, really not understand that they're helping you out in such a way where, you might have been upset with them like Starlight was, and then later on you find yourself saying, actually, yeah, I was mad at you before, but now I'm kind of looking at things different now. So thank you now. I am sorry. But relationships, and like I said, I had to learn the hard way. And just like these numbers is with the numbers, like is when I get a number, like a repeated number, like, and if some of you are just jumping on and you don't know me at all, and so really, if you want to know more about numbers, you really got to check out my videos out there. The very first one, Are You Searching for Guidance? And then there's going to be other videos out there, like the universe and the angels, the archangels. There's going to be other videos to explain more as far as repeated numbers, or there's a video out there that says, are you into numbers, or numbers have meanings? There's different titles like that, similar. And I met two guys. Yesterday was an amazing day. I got 1111, like lots. And I got it today too. And it happened in a funny way. But yesterday I received 1111. Imagine that, 11 times. Yeah, it was close to 11 times, So, and then I had to take a lot of stuff out of my car because I just got some food from a food pantry, and what I do is organize it, and I sort it all out, and then I had like 3 full bags of food that I go and give it to the homeless people at a park, where they go, on certain days that they all go there for a dinner or whatever. So I was organizing my car outside. It was a mess. It was a mess outside. Because I had to take all these things out and do some cleaning, in my car, organize stuff, make sure, sometimes I forget some food in my car, and I'm like, oh my, there's rotten tomatoes in here, or, it would definitely be some kind of fruit or vegetable, that was fresh at one point. So I always have to stay on top of everything, and so here I am, a mess, and just acting like nobody's around, and it's amazing where I had a whole bunch of numbers to look up. So I had my speaker because I wanted to hear as I'm working, I'm a multitasker. So is there was a guy that worked at this park. I've never been in there. I never even got to get to the park area. I only reached it to the parking lot area. And so I seen him sitting on his tractor or whatever, just sitting there. And I'm thinking, oh no, I'm always thinking, Starlight, you're being naughty again. Why are you making a mess outside? But, people were coming in and going, parking their cars, going at the park. But this worker that works there, he was sitting, and I didn't know because he was at a distance. Well, he could hear my speaker, and it was about angel numbers, and it was the numbers that I was receiving. So I had you could check this out, number two, it was on somebody's shirt. Like, huh. So that was a great message. I really needed that, that just really, woo, Starlight needed that number two message. So as I was cleaning, I wasn't, I noticed the guy, but I was like, oh, I hope he doesn't give me a hard time. I'm going to pick all this mess up. I know it looks nasty now, but, and he ended up coming over without me even knowing. And he's like, yeah. And I didn't even know who he was. I didn't even recognize him because he was at a distance. He goes, yeah, I couldn't help but hear what you're listening to. And wow, he goes, it is really interesting what you're listening to. And he actually knows somebody else like Starlight that listens to, like angel numbers. So, and that's what you got to find out is check those other videos out because I can't explain that all here. And so I got talking with him, spent like a half hour talking with him. And then, I get back to work, I'm like a mess. And then I look at the time, I'm like, oh, I got to hurry up because I got to, here I'm telling you to slow down, but Starlight's got to be at a park so I can drop this food off. But I got to get everything organized, get it all picked up, get everything back in my car so I can go drive over there. And so I'm like cleaning everything up, getting everything back. I had to really go through stuff, sort things out. And then another man comes, and I was just so surprised. And he comes and he goes, yeah, he goes, I overheard your what you're listening to. And that's funny because I was listening to what is number meaning 75 mean. And he heard 75. And so he's like, huh, he was curious because that's a number that is his number and 17. So he was curious to what in the world I was listening to. So I ended up telling him about it, and I had another conversation with him, and I was like on fire yesterday. I'm like, and of course getting 1111 how many times in one day? And I do have to say this really quick. The way I got 1111 today, which was awesome, you never know how it's going to happen. I had to call a number up, and then it says dial 1 or push 1 if you want it in English. All right, 1. And then, so that goes on. And then that left me a message is to push 1 for this. And I'm like, okay, 1. And then it's like, all right, well, if you, it was all these menus, like 3 menus. So it was 1111 on my phone this morning as far as 1111. So kick ass. So yesterday was a tremendous day. But I had to throw that in there really quick on that story. But as far as like, back to the relationship deal here is, and that's where I was going with the numbers. I was like, how come I talked about numbers now? So with the numbers is, I could get a message that says, Starlight, you need to be more positive. Okay, that's okay. I could adjust. Okay, I'm going to be positive. If you want this abundance, if you want this or you desire that, whatever it is, you got to be positive. All right. There goes Starlight. She's being positive. And then I might get a message that says you need to let go of the past. Okay, I'm going to let go of the past. Then there'll be messages that will say abundance is on its way. Woo! And this is how I was in the beginning. I'm like, abundance. Things are coming in, like, what is it, And so I thought, something was going to happen right there and then. But guess what? That's not how it works. And it's because God is testing us out. God wants us to be patient. God doesn't want us to be spoiled little brats. Just because you cry about it, Here you go. Okay, here you go. Because that's what a lot of parents do when their kids, wah, 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 wah. Ah, especially at stores. Have you ever witnessed that? You know, some kid is crying, they're freaking out, you know, because they're not getting what. Here you go, here, shut up. You know, the kid's quiet. What did the child learn? Well, the child learned if I cry enough, eventually they're going to give me my way. I'm going to get my way, and I want it and I want it now. That's what you're going to do to that child. And, you know, so that is why it's so important to, you know, like not to do that to your children, because then you're going to have this, men and women, this happens to both sexes, but I know some of you women probably know what it's like. Is, you know, I've had this on dating apps where I'll be on a dating app and I'll have this same person keep on like, can I have your number? Can I have your number? Can I have your number? Or can you send me a picture? Can you send me a picture? You know, I already said no the first time. That ain't working, you know? So those are the ones I'm like, where's the plug? Plugged up. So in relationships, you know, just like those numbers, you know, like I have been getting, you know, messages that abundance, you know, I'm, you know, you know, my financial stuff, you know, all my needs are going to be taken care of. But you know what? It doesn't happen when Starlight thinks it's going to happen. Absolutely not. But I got to do the inner work or it's going to hurt. So we got to do that inner work inside of us. Like if you are desiring a relationship, it might not be your time right now. You know, things don't happen right when we want it, just like that little girl on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I want it and I want it now. Did you see what happened to her? You know, so God doesn't want us to have that kind of attitude. God teaches us patience. That's what I've been learning on this journey is patience and trusting in the process. Your words are very powerful. You know, when you say, I'm giving up on men, I'm giving up on love, well, those words are very powerful. They went out into the air. You know, so you got to really be careful. And even your thoughts, what are you thinking inside? You know, it can be a bummer when you know, you meet somebody and you get all excited and then something goes, the wires get crossed and everything, you know, just goes out of whack. And then you're like, one of those kind of moments, right? So, you know, you really need to be patient. And while you are waiting, and please don't give up, because God's got the greatest thing out there for you, the person out there, men or a lady, you know, out there. So you can't give up and you can't look at it as your past relationships thinking those were just lessons. Believe me, those were lessons that I know I had to learn. You know, if any, I would have to say I taught a lot of men a lot of lessons in my life because a lot of them wanted me back and absolutely not. So anyway, don't give up on those things. God is going to test us and going to put things out there, even like a job. Like God did that a while back. Yeah, I was making money, but they weren't paying enough for me to work at that place. It was slave work, you know, nothing. It was chaos upside down. I was like, you got to be kidding me. I've never seen a place so upside down in my life. Well, except for this world, this 3D world, you know. So you got to be patient. You got to believe and you got to trust. If you already threw the towel in, or you know, it says I give up, well then it could take longer. But we need to do that inside work. We need to find out who we are. We need to learn how to meditate. If you're not meditating right now and you're thinking, you know, meditation ain't gonna do nothing for me, well then it's not going to do because you're not even believing it. So meditation is so powerful if you're, you know, like working on yourself like physically, but you got to do that inward work. You know, there's things that God, you know, or God could give you a relationship and it will be another lesson. Or God could give you a beautiful relationship where you've done the work and you were patient, and God sees that you were doing the work and then knows there's a guy or a girl, depending on what sexes you are, because this could be a guy waiting for a girl or a girl waiting for a guy. And if you do the inner work, there's a lot of inner work, and I can't talk about that now because this video is getting long. But you've got to do the inner work inside, and everything's inside, not outside of you. So you got to search within, not out. So stop. Like if it's at your workplace, where it's about when you do the inner work inside, God will bring that right one, the one. Like I am only interested in a twin flame relationship, so I am happily starting that process again. And that's what a twin flame relationship is like, is that I ran away until I came back to my senses, realizing I can't live my life without my twin. So and it's a lot of work, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, it really is, but it's worth it at the end. The love that I receive from a twin flame is intense. It's intense. And when things are going really bad, and Starlight's that girl that I'd rather run away than say something with my mouth, and regret it later on. So that's why Starlight ran away, is because, I am that girl. I don't want to say the wrong thing and hurt anybody. So we got to be patient and slow down, work on yourself. That's how you're going to find out whatever it is that you desire in life, is to work on yourself. You want financial freedom? Work on yourself. How is your spending? What are you doing with your money? If you're responsible and God sees that you're doing the work, the inner work, dealing with this shadow aspect of yourself, and you're being patient and you're trusting and your mindset is being positive, you're journaling, you're trying to get I'm telling you, you got to work on your intuition, because then you'll get more information and downloads of really what's going on around your surroundings, as far as what the universe is doing for you. And I haven't started working on that video yet. I only got some stuff, but I'm gonna hopefully work on it today. I gotta write stuff out before I even get this one going. So I do have a very special video coming. I'm just teasing you. So anyway, I do love you. Don't give up on love. Because it might take 5 years. 5 years! That's what I said, like, how many years ago? 5 years! Before you know it, 5 years be up, and you'll be a whole different person, and you'll have a whole different viewpoint. In the beginning, when you do break up with people, it does take some time. It does take time, when you spend alone time and you're healing up from the last relationship, and it is hard. I have to say, it is hard. It is hard. You go through that time where you want to get close to somebody. You want to go out and spend time with somebody. You want to go hiking with somebody. You want to snuggle with somebody. You want to make love to somebody. But that's why it's so important to be patient, because you don't want to give all that to the wrong guy or wrong girl, right? And then later on say, I wasn't patient enough. You were so close if you just waited longer. That's how it is when we give up. That's when we were that close, and then we go for Tom, Dick, or Harry, or Sally, Sue, or Cindy. And then it's like, if you just kept on working on yourself and trusting in the process and believing that that is possible for you, you would have received it. But then you gave up and you caved in, and then you got, what is it? I'm not a meat eater here anymore, but you could have, I don't know, you could have had something beautiful, a guy or a girl that would have been, like your mirror image of yourself, but the opposite sex, where you'd have so much in common and you understand each other at a good level. Not that it's going to be easy, because it is going to, it does take work, even, getting to know each other especially when you move in. Woo! Like moving in is like, wow. But I love that part, is when you actually, now you're finding out all the nitty gritty stuff that you didn't know about before. So it is cool because then you get to learn how they prepare their food, how they take care of their clothes. Do they take care of their clothes? So anyway, I love you so much, and I was just gonna wear what I had on earlier, but because this is a relationship video, I said, you know what, I can't just wear what I was wearing earlier. I was gonna do a walk-in video. I was gonna do this as a video for out on a hike somewhere, but I said, no, I really want to dress up for this, and I want to sit down and look at you face to face as I'm doing this video. So anyway, I really hope you haven't given up, because giving up on love is like giving up on yourself. You don't want to give up on yourself because love is the most powerful, emotion that you can ever experience. That is the most beautiful, thing that is out there. That's what Starlight really desires the most. So anyway, I do love you. You could give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you could leave a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And you could also share my videos with a, let's see, I'm thinking it's a Katie did it. I think that is. I've never seen one before, but I'm gonna put a picture of this awesome insect. So yeah, you could share my videos with your friends, family, or Katie did it. I think is what it's pronounced. It's a leaf bug. Huh? So now you got to figure out where are they located. Where is Starlight? So besides sharing my videos with a leaf bug, is you can also share my videos with a fish. And not only you can share my videos with a fish, you can also check out my playlist, and don't forget the notification. Plus, you could check me out on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. I love you all. This is Starlight. Namaste, love, light, and peace.